Good evening, City Council. This is Brandon Lopez, Parks Manager with the City of Oxnard with the Public Works Department, presenting Agreement with Crago Pest Services for Landscape Pest Control Services. Recommendation that the Public Works and Transportation Committee recommend that the City Council approve and authorize the mayor to execute an agreement with Crago Pest Services with an initial term of 3 years from July 16th, 2025 to July 15th, 2028, with an option for 2 consecutive 1-year period extensions ending July 15th, 2030, and for a total amount not to exceed $660,000 for landscape pest control services at city parks and other city landscaped areas. Background: the city contracts for landscape pest control services at various city parks and other landscape facilities. This contract provides flexibility for adjusting the service levels to match each park and facility's landscape treatment needs and budget. The city parks and landscapes are inspected monthly and treated if necessary for gophers, ground squirrels, and mice, rats, and bees. Discussion. On January 29th, 2025, the Purchasing Division published a request for bid for landscape pest control services within city parks and other city landscapes. 3 potential vendors were directly notified for the RFP, as well as the RFP being published on publicpurchase.com and the city's purchasing website. Bid submissions were due by February 26, 2025. The RFP states the award is based upon the vendor that has bid and can provide all items requested and has the lowest average cost total of all locations. Therefore, based upon the bid amounts, Crago Pest Services has the lowest total bid. The bid results for the landscape pest control services are as follows, with Crago Pest Services being the lowest bid with an initial treatment bid amount of $12,235, a monthly treatment bid amount of $4,430, for a total bid amount of $60,965. This agreement with Crago Pest Services includes monthly landscape pest control services that include but are not limited to gophers, ground squirrels, mice, rats, and bees in the parks and other city landscapes. Additionally, this agreement provides for on-call services to respond to unscheduled landscape pest control issues at other city facilities. The on-call services will be requested by city staff through task orders. Staff has confirmed that Crago Pest Services meets all required city contractual provisions, including pest contractor license, possession of a city business tax certificate, insurance certificates, and corporate filing with the California Secretary of State. Based upon the available information and research performed to date, staff believes that the vendor is capable of satisfactorily completing the services in this agreement. Financial impact. Total cost for this agreement with Crago Pest Services shall not exceed $660,000 over the term of 5 years. Services will commence in fiscal year 2025 through 2026, and funds have been included in the proposed fiscal year 2025 through 2026 budget. Funding for the future years will be requested during the annual budget process. There is an estimated 3% annual inflation increase beginning in the fiscal year 26-27 that is factored into the total not to exceed amount for the agreement. Approval for an annual inflation factor will require a written request with documentation for the increase to be considered. The on-call amounts are for services that will only be authorized by staff through a task order for any non-routine landscape pest control services. These on-call services are subject to available funding within the associated department division budgets. There is no guarantee that on-call amounts will be spent on landscape pest control services. Are there any questions?